Hi everyone! My name is Amanda and January is now finally over and you all know what that means! January wrap up and February TBR. So yesterday we are wrapping up January and I feel like I've had a pretty good reading month for the amount of time I've had for reading. So this month I have read 5 books, which I think is pretty good. It's decent at least. And I have a large amount of 5 of 5 stars to share with you, so stay tuned. So the first book I read this month was The Coldest Girl in Coldtown by Holly Black, and I really enjoyed this book. It is about vampires and I think that is a bit of different take on vampires. They live in cold towns, which is like cities in cities. The vampires are just cool creatures in this book and they are desired, and everyone goes to the cold towns to become vampires, or at least many does. And we get to follow a girl named Tana, and she might have been infected, and if you are infected you have to go to these cold towns. So she basically goes there and shit goes down. From the first page I really enjoyed this book. It was a page turner all the way and you really fall in love with the characters in this book. They are unique and they develop beautifully throughout the story. So I give this one a 5 out of 5 stars, a perfect book to start off the reading year, and it was a standalone and it was just great. The next book I decided to pick up was Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, and I enjoyed this book. It was good. It was different by all means. It is about Selena and she is an assassin. She is like the best assassin in the entire kingdom and she somehow gets caught and therefore she's put in a death camp. Her only way to get out is to like compete against other like assassins to become the king's champion and become his personal assassin for 4 years, and then she will get her freedom. I did like the characters and I did like the story, but I think the world building could have been a bit better, but it is gonna be a 6-part story I think, so I'm not really worried about the world building part actually. Selena is just such a different character, nothing like I've ever read before. She's very confident and a very strong like female lead character, and I also really like Dorian and Kaol, and I really like the love triangle thing in this book. I am definitely team Kaol. This book left many questions unanswered and there was a cliffhangery ending basically. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and of course what else could I do but to pick up Crown of Midnight, also by Sarah J Maas, and oh my god you guys, this book was so freaking amazing. While Throne of Glass was a good book, this was mind-blowingly amazing. This book is basically one great mystery and you just sit there and what's gonna happen? You think you have it all figured out, but then plot twist! I think this book has great character development and I really love Selena and I love Kaol and Dorian in this book, but it also introduced new characters that I really love as well. It was so good and I couldn't put it down, and now I can't wait for Heir of Fire. It feels like it's ages until it comes out, but I just can't wait. 5 out of 5 stars, no doubt. So the next book I read this month was Looking for Alaska by John Green, and I adored this book. I'm not so much for love stories to be honest, but this was something altogether different. I loved it just as much as The Fault in Our Stars, and you know that that is one of my favorite books, but I love this in a different way. It was very nice to have it from a guy's perspective. That's not very common nowadays. It is about a guy, Miles, who goes to a boarding school to search the great perhaps, and there he meets all these lovely people. I love all the characters in this book. They are so realistic and amazing. I don't think I've ever been as close to like laughing out loud while reading a book ever, and I was seriously smiling at so many funny parts of this book. It was hilarious. And as always, we always need to take a moment to admire John Green's writing. It is full of beautiful quotes and last words and pure amazingness. 5 out of 5 stars. The last book I read this month was Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, and I must say that is actually my favorite classic so far. I haven't read that many classics, but you know what I mean. It's really good. We read it for school and I must say I really enjoyed it, even though we read it for school that often like takes the book down one level, but I really enjoyed this one actually. I think there was a nice flow to the text that some classics miss out on, but I think it was pretty easy to read and comprehend, and it had great pace. It was not too slow, and I think that even though it says it's a thriller, I mean by today's standards it's not a thriller, but it was intense. It actually was. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. That was my books I read this month, and now let's go on to my TBR for February. I'm so excited. I am doing a buddy read with some amazing booktubers and some amazing people, and we are going to read The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. We are reading this throughout the entire month and then discussing it on the weekends. That is going to be so much fun. I have never read a book along with anybody before, so I'm really excited about this book, and it's a fantasy book, and yeah, you know how much I love fantasy, right? So yeah, really excited. Because we are reading that throughout the month, I will have to read other books alongside with it, and I will continue on with The Archived by Victoria Schwab. I am really enjoying this book. I haven't read that much of it yet, but I am really enjoying the plot and the characters, so I'm really interested in seeing how this is going to play out. This month I'm also finally gonna try to get to Never Fade by Alexander Bracken. I'm going to like look through The Darkest Minds just so it's fresh in my mind, and then I'm going to go on to this. I am so freaking excited, guys, you have no idea. I have waited so long to pick up this book, and I just can't wait. And the last book I have on my TBR this month is going to be a book that I have ordered. I have some to choose from. I haven't really decided yet, but there will be an unboxing and a haul for you guys, so you can see all the books that I bought. I'm really excited. There are some amazing books in this unboxing. So that was all I had for my January wrap up and my February TBR, and it was a great reading month, and I'm really excited for February now. I'm going to get going with my reading, and I hope you do the same. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That would help me out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see all of you guys in my next video, so stay tuned. Bye!